You're listening to a 4x4 Radio Network podcast.
Toledo Jeep Fest, weekend of August 12th, happening in Toledo, Ohio, the home of Jeep. Go to ToledoJeepFest.com for more information.
Are you ready?
It's the Jeep Talk Show with Wendy.
There will be body damage.
Jeep Mama.
Are you sure?
Josh.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And Tony.
I think that's a huge deal.
So sit back, strap in, and brace yourself.
Hi, I'm Chris, and I'm really looking forward to hearing this interview.
Oh, me too. No, I've already heard it. Never mind. Hi, I'm Tony, and in this episode, I interview Matt from Matt's Off-Road Recovery. What a fun interview, Chris. It was a lot of fun talking to Matt, and I learned a lot of interesting things that I had no idea. Now, Chris, I don't want you to give away your magic, but I'm curious. I think I reached out to Matt's Off-Road Towing, and you know, I didn't have a specific name or anything to reach out to, like an email address or anything, as I recall. So I kind of had to poke around and hit a couple of emails. But I never got a response until relatively recently, like maybe 6 months, a year ago, that I got a response. And they were telling me, oh, yeah, here's our media kit, and we have some nice merchandise that you can buy. So it was like, you know, somebody respond to this guy. He won't leave us alone. Let's he's obviously really interested in us. Maybe if he buys a tow rope from us, he'll feel better.
Yeah, just persistence, really. I was just fortunate to be a little persistent with phone calls, and I believe sometimes it takes that much time. So obviously you've been reaching out. I started reaching out, and just persistence. I don't know what the phrase might be, but just persistence pays off.
Well, your job as a salesperson, your daily job as a salesperson. So you were just using your salesman tactics. Is tactics the right way to say? Is that rude?
No, not at all. Not at all. It's you got to ask for the sale, and that's something many people in sales don't do. And the sale, in this case, is time. And we were finally able to get Matt's time, and we weren't asking him for money. It was time, and you got to ask for the sale, and that's what we got to do.
So if you don't mind me asking, and of course you can always say pass, but are you a natural salesperson, or was this something that you had to, we all have to learn our jobs, but does the selling come natural to you?
I would say no. I don't believe in the born salesman or salesperson, but it's just learning, and it is. And I learned many years ago through various sales trainings. It's just getting that simple follow up. Many salespeople follow. Hey, Tony, are you interested? You maybe get 2-3 minutes of your time. Let me send you a brochure. And they expect that you're going to call them back, and you got to be persistent, but not a pass. Persistent, but not a pass has been my approach.
Where do you find that line, though? Because that's my problem. Is I figure if one call is being a pest, that's the reason why. And it just blows my mind that you actually call these people up on the phone, because I could just well imagine, like, oh my God, what do you want? Why are you calling me? We don't do anything on phones anymore. We do it through email and through social media. Why are you calling me on the phone?
That's true. A phone call is upsetting for many people, especially younger people, younger than myself, younger than 40-ish. But it's just, you just ask. Again, it's asking for that sale. And I learned it's the next, it's always selling in that, hey, Tony, we have a conversation. When's a good time to follow up with you? I'll put it back on you. You might, I don't know, I'm real busy. Okay, may I call you back in 2 weeks? And you can gauge from the conversation, especially if it's on the phone, am I bothering you? Am I annoying you? Or are you maybe open to it? And
you're interested, but you're just too busy to deal with it right now. And I would like to talk to you about it, but in a couple of weeks. Do you find that sometimes people are just being polite and they're not really interested? Or
absolutely, and usually by the second or third follow up phone call or email, you're like, all right, they're just not interested, and you drop it. You leave it. So.
Okay. And okay. Well, anyway, we can get into sales 101 later. I just find it fascinating that there is a way of doing this where people don't hire a hitman.
You can do that, but it gets a little messy and bloody.
Yeah. And there's always the evidence traced back because you've got notes about who you were calling and how often.
Yeah,
that's interesting. So on the phone numbers, do you just find those online? Or do you have do you find somebody and then they say, well, no, you got the wrong person? You go, oh, do you have their number? and
yes,
go that direction.
Yes, I mean, you do, for a lot of these companies, and certainly Matt's Off-Road Recovery, they do have a phone number you call. And in this case, I called and asked for Matt and had about a 10-second conversation with him. And once he realized what I was calling about, he got me over to one of his, he's got a staff, I think he talks about in the interview, and you go from there. But it's just calling up. And it's the other thing, some people are afraid to ask for the person or ask for the boss. And, oftentimes you don't get it, but if you're just straightforward, this is the purpose of my call, this is what I'm asking for, be it time or a sale or money. And a lot of times you get it. Sometimes you get shut down for sure, but you'd be surprised. It's just asking for that sale is my salesman 101 for today. Just ask for the sale. Well,
I guess we're all selling, aren't we? Yes. mean, we're selling here on the show. We're trying to sell the show to people to listen. Matt's certainly trying to sell to people on YouTube and the products and stuff that he sells on his site and his services, which, is probably I should have started with that one, because the service of him getting people out of harm is probably the primary service, even though I know he's putting a lot of time into all this other stuff. So we're all selling all the time. So I guess maybe part of us are just kind of like, well, this guy's just trying to sell like I try to sell. So, let me give him 5 minutes, and then you're on. It's showtime for you, and it's time for you to make your point and as to why your product or services is important to that person or not. But so I guess I can see that it's not necessarily being polite. It's just remembering how hard it is to get somebody's time. And I didn't know that you had spoken with Matt during this process. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, just really briefly. And admittedly, I hadn't been as an avid viewer of his channel. He's out there getting it done. I mean, he's going out doing the recoveries. I mean, he's got people that work for him and support him, but he's on the road day and night. And it was really cool that, hey, he happened to be there and I got to talk to him.
Yeah, well, I mean, I want to say he's been given a gift. I don't want to make it sound like he doesn't deserve it or he didn't work for it, because he certainly did. But whenever you have the interest of a lot of people, I personally consider it a gift. I consider it a gift that people take the time to download these episodes, because I'm just some knucklehead talking into a microphone. So, who am I? And fortunately, I don't have Matt's magic, at least not yet. But I think we're getting there, and it's just exhilarating talking to somebody that is doing it, is making money and entertaining people at the same time.
From around the world, or from your city, and sometimes just down the street.
Howdy, neighbor.
It's the Jeep Talk Show interview.
All right, Hill boys and girls, it's time for another Jeep Talk Show interview. And tonight we're going to be talking with the one that you guys have asked about so much. You need to get Matt on the show. You need to get Matt on the show. Well, Matt's on the show. I mean, we may hear a click here in a second, but so far we're doing good. I've actually talked to him. He's actually on the phone. So Matt is with Matt's Off-Road Recovery. He has been in the off-road recovery business for most of his life and has been doing it professionally since 2009. He started his YouTube channel May of 2019 and now has over 1 million subscribers. My God. And there's no nakedness on this channel, right? I mean, it's just you and your yellow XJ towing vehicles.
That's pretty much it. That's what we're doing.
Can you imagine what would happen if you had some low-cut shirts or some high pants when you're doing this, Matt?
Yeah. I imagine we might get more clicks, but less views.
So I was just right before we got connected up here, I was looking at one of your latest videos, and there's been some changes, or at least some paint changes to the yellow banana.
Yeah, it just recently we're just finishing up a complete restoration and upgrade.
Now, does that restoration and upgrade do anything to the 4.0 that's in there as the power plant?
It's actually got a Golan Engine's 4.6 stroker in it, so it's based on the 4.0. It's just got the stroker crank in it and a little bit of little bit of cam in it.
Yeah, a little bit of it's still the 4.0. I mean, I know what you're saying, but it's still the 4.0, and I think that is so cool. I mean, I think that there's a lot of people out there. Like when I would take my XJ to events and stuff, everybody, 2 or 3 at least, would walk up and say, "I used to have one of these. I used to have one of these." Well, what do you got now? I got a Wrangler. I got this, that, and another. Well, I don't know why people thought they had to get rid of their XJs, and I just thought it was so cool. And it was probably 3-4 years ago. I mean, maybe not 4, but it was several years ago that I ran across your videos, and I was like, this guy's using an XJ to pull people out, much bigger vehicles. This is so cool.
Yeah, I get a lot of positive, like people react to it very positively. Even if they don't start out positive, by the time I'm done with the job, they're like, what in the world just happened? This is amazing.
Now, if I remember correctly, and keep in mind, I haven't seen this for a while, but you did a walk around on the XJ maybe a year ago or so, and you have a lot of custom drivetrain underneath there from the standpoint of, I think it had a GM axle. It was in the rear. It has a GM axle.
Yeah, at the time it did. Since then I've switched to a full floater. And I think it's out of a Ford. When people ask me what it came out of, I say it came out of a field behind the guy's house because that's where I got it.
It's in the XJ. That's where it is.
Yeah.
So
it's in the XJ now.
Yeah. So what are you doing for the front axle?
The front axle is a Wagoneer 44.
Oh, very nice.
So if you divide your axles into wide and narrow, it's still the narrow track. Roughly 62 inches wide from hub mount to hub mount, wheel mount to wheel mount. So.
Mm-hmm. And is it still your engineering as far as getting those things connected to the
yes.
XJ? Did you have to do any beefing up?
And I came.
Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I've been fixing. The question was, have I done any beefing up to
the unibody? The unibody, because I would think the unibody would be something that really would be a problem.
So, yeah, it depends on when you take a snapshot on how it is, because the Jeep evolved, that this XJ was evolving with the work that I was having to do, and then as the work picked up more and more, and then I would upgrade to bigger axles and bigger tires, and then to bigger axles and bigger tires. This last rebuild we did, I finally added frame stiffeners and then an interior roll cage system that was more designed to stiffen the body than a rollover.
Right. I bet you it really feels
obviously serving as both.
I bet you it really feels sturdy now, that you don't get that flex that you probably didn't even realize was there before.
Yeah, well, I knew it was there because when you're driving with the window down and you got your finger between the door and the rain gutter there, you can feel it flexing.
Oh no!
And yeah, that's virtually gone now.
Yeah,
so
yeah. It's really
happy with that.
I put some frame stiffeners on mine. They go along the outside of the unibody rails, and they're plug weld to it. And I noticed a huge difference. It just feels more like it's just, it's not flexing as much. It's really nice. And I imagine yours is even more sturdy with that cage. Yeah.
And it's got a couple of other cross members because I've got it 4-linked front and rear. And so I added cross members for those. So it's tied together pretty good.
Now, have you actually broken it using it out to tow people? I mean, I've seen you tow stuff up, climbs, stair steps, all kinds of stuff, and it just seems to go and go. And it just, as an XJ owner, an XJ was my first Jeep. We bought it new in '98. I still got it, so I have a lot of love for the XJ, and I just love seeing a working XJ. Yeah, that's kind of the big thing. Is like I have a one owner XJ.
Nice. So I've broke a couple of outer stub shafts, both of them on the left side on the front axle, but I've never really had a catastrophic failure that stopped me from completing a mission. So it's just taking it back in and looking at it like, oh, this is cracking, or I was really worried about the stock axles after, when I went to 33-inch tires. I could just see signs that like the axle tubes were twisting inside the front housing, and I'm like, oh, it's time to upgrade.
Yeah, better do it before than too late. So it's a lot of fun to watch you pull and tow things up and out of the way, but you only go so far with the XJ. You know its limitations, and then you'll bring in the big stuff or add more XJs to it. At least that's what I've seen in the past, where you add another XJ to the towing thing.
Right, and the YouTube is kind of an interesting window because it's just a window into what we're doing. You're not seeing everything that's going on. And so we post the videos that we feel will be the most interesting to the viewer. And the more we struggle, the more interested you guys are. Mm-hmm. So I might do 100 jobs that are just like, we just go out, we have everything we need, everything goes smooth. And then we'll get one job where it really pushes the limits of the machine or our equipment. We weren't prepared for something. And of course, that one we're going to upload and be like, oh, this was a real struggle. And so people think, well, why don't you carry the equipment that you need to do this job? And the reason is we carry the equipment we need to do 99.9% of what we do. And then this one little bit, and we've been YouTubing, you know how the internet is, but I really want to get all the stuff that people have recommended that I carry and put it in a pile and weigh it. And I would say it'd probably be about 3,000 pounds of gear. Yeah, yeah.
Well, it's great being a YouTube expert. It doesn't require any knowledge or anything. It's kind of like that YouTube certified mechanic patch that I want to get. So yeah, I try to stay away from the advice.
But it does work for what we're doing. There's a reason we've been running this XJ, and we're going to keep running it because it just flat out works for what we're doing. It gets on the tight trails, it gets in the small areas, and it just punches above its weight. So, it's not going anywhere.
It's the underdog. I mean, you people look at this, they call them boxes, and then just seeing one that does what you've got yours doing. And it's also too the will of the driver is a lot of it, and knowing the vehicle. So you could tear that thing up in an instant if you wanted to, but you know what you're doing and how to do it. So, but it's great that the machine can handle so much of that. And I didn't mention at the start. I mean, I just figure everybody knows, but I know some of you don't. Matt's Off-Road Recovery, the YouTube channel, over 1 million subscribers, 1.04, but who's counting? And how did that work for you? I mean, were you? I just seeing you on the video and stuff. You don't look like hey, let's get this thing on YouTube. My dad's got a barn, let's put it on a show. You just don't come across that way. How did the YouTube thing come about?
Well, I kind of think it's the same way anybody arrives at anything. Like, you have support from friends and family. They're like, you should do this, you should do this. Of course, when somebody first says it doesn't mean anything because you don't know anything about it. I didn't know anything about it. And I mean, I'd watched YouTube. I mostly used YouTube for like how-tos, like, oh, I'm going to be doing this project, let me look at it. And YouTube was valuable to me that way, but I didn't really use YouTube as an entertainment source. So when the idea came up, hey, you should put this up, people watch it for entertainment, I'm like, yeah, right, whatever. But a couple of years of that, and I was getting really good results from my Facebook because I was promoting winter towing, and I would post a picture of a tow truck with a car with a bad alternator, and nobody liked it. But if I posted a picture of my little Jeep hooked up to a diesel truck with a toy hauler buried up to the axles in sand or mud or whatever, I was getting a massive amount of views and shares and the comments, and that kind of reinforced what some of my friends and family were telling me, that people are interested in this stuff.
Yeah.
So I just kind of educated myself just barely enough to start a YouTube channel, and I had no idea that it was going to do what it did.
Right. Well, and it is interesting, and it is put together well. So, I mean, you can say that, and there's personalities involved in it too. It's not just people that are. It's just not the off-road towing type of videos. There's you talking, there's you interacting with other people, there's funny things going on. So I think it's very important that you actually have people involved in it and conversations involved in it. I think it's not just a wheeling video, because not that you're wheeling, but it's not just
absolutely.
It's not that you just see this
because
a Jeep going down the road or something.
People like to see people coming together and solving problems. Mm-hmm. And doing interesting things, and also doing things like, because one thing, we're doing things that a lot of people don't do. Like a lot of people don't have access to what we're doing. So they're watching for that. But then they're also, like, the same as me. When I tell other YouTubers how to make their channel better, I said, you need to be confident, and not confident like, hey, I'm smart enough to do this. I know what I'm doing. I'm saying be confident enough to make a mistake and be able to post that, not like, because that's what real people do. Real people make mistakes and then they learn from them, and then they do something different. And that's something we've tried to keep in. Like, let's not edit out the mistakes. Let's not edit out when things go wrong, and not even like disappointment or even anger a little bit. Like, if something doesn't go right, we'll tell this story, but let's keep our head cool. Let's solve the problem and get through this.
Yeah.
And people have just been responding to it.
Yeah. And that's a good message. That's a good message for the kids even. So let me ask you, and let me know if this is something that you feel comfortable talking about. So I noticed when I was looking at one of the new videos today that it says Matt's Off-Road Recovery on the Jeep. And when it used to say Winder or Winder, I don't know how you pronounce it, what's changed? Is it just updated? Is it?
So this is nothing more than just show business.
Okay.
So Winder Towing was the name of my towing company. It's a 40-year-old. I'm the third owner. When I started the YouTube channel, I wanted to make a channel, name the channel what people would be seeing, which is Off-Road Recovery, and Winder Towing doesn't mean anything to people. And so I was double branded in the beginning, really bad. And that it just is a headache. There's all kinds of problems with being double branded. So I made a decision to make it less confusing to people. And so the YouTube company is Matt's Off-Road Recovery, and all the vehicles are going to be branded that way. So we don't get all those questions about how come it's Matt's Off-Road Recovery and says Winder Towing? How come it's Winder Towing and you're calling it Matt's Off-Road Recovery? So it's simply just a logistical marketing decision to make it less confusing.
Oh, yeah, it makes sense. But I thought that if it was a question in my mind, it's going to be a question of somebody else's. And you've probably already been barraged with questions on YouTube. Now, of course, I know you and the folks that you work with from the YouTube channel, but you mentioned Facebook. So do you have a big Facebook presence?
Well, we do. Originally, it was just Winder Towing's Facebook. I set that up. I didn't know anything, and I was running it. Now there's a Matt's Off-Road Recovery. We're on Facebook, Instagram. I think we're even on TikTok now, or if not, we're going to be. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're just trying to stay in touch with the fans and our audience on all the platforms that they want to interact with us on.
Now, do you have a problem with, I don't want to say groupies, but people kind of trying to come out and hang out with you or wanting to be out there whenever you're on a call off-road?
Yeah, it can be a problem sometimes. A population, like if like lake in there will get followed, it can be a problem because then people crowd in around, and a lot of the work we do, we need space and room to do it. A lot more people recognize us now, like when we're out. So I don't know if I can say it's like a problem.
It makes the job a little harder.
Have to deal with and be aware of.
Yeah. So I got to ask you
and it can.
Yeah, I've got to ask you the question you've probably been asked 10,000 times before, or told this is what you need to do. Why do you not have a winch on the front of the big banana, the yellow banana?
Okay, that one's easy, and it has definitely evolved. So almost every recovery that we do that would be considered off-road is a rental car, and almost every single one of them they're just a few feet off of a dirt road. They're in a ditch, or they're in the sand, or they might be in some snow or some mud or whatever. Some of them will drive several miles down a sand road. They can't get back up. But whatever the case was, the Kinetic ropes just solved the problem. They were just incredibly fast, and so that's what I was doing. When the now that we're more in the public, like a lot more people know about us, we're starting to get a lot more jobs that are more extreme, and that's where the winches come in. So we're using winches a lot more now.
Okay.
So the Banana does have a winch permanently mounted to it now. The Corvair does. It's got its winch. Rudy, he's got the Rudicon that's half done, and he's still got a removable winch, but he just leaves it on too. So what we've done is just taken weight out other places and replaced that weight with the winch. So we're still like super light, super like we just travel fast and light, and that's still working for us.
Very good.
But now we have the winch option.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. I was just curious. I mean, I have no problem with you doing things the way you want to do them. I was just curious.
Right. I'd still say 90% of our work is kinetic ropes, but we'll get these mountain jobs now where a winch is the only answer.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's good tips for people out there that are thinking about getting a winch, and you might be able to do what you need to do by just getting a kinetic rope like what Matt does. I mean, my God, it works for him, and he's making money off of it. So tell me about the other vehicle, the other wannabe Banana that's yellow and black. I almost wanted to say it was an XJ at first, but that's no XJ.
Yeah, it's just a Chevrolet Corvair, and I've been into Corvairs my whole life. I've been a car guy my whole life. And when I was looking, so the XJ is just working perfectly. It's completely filling the niche that it's working in. It's not leaving me wanting anything, and it's filled. But then we get into the bigger vehicles, and I like the XJ so much. I'm like, well, what's a big XJ? And there was just nothing like a bigger XJ. And then I'm looking at the Corvair station wagon, and I'm like, wow, that's a bigger XJ. It's a unibody. It's shaped the same. It's a really cool car. So all the knowledge that I had learned from building the XJ, I took all that and put into this vehicle. And of course, we had to hand build it. But the amount of hand fabrication and just the design and ideas and artistic stuff that went into that vehicle, we are welcomed with open arms in the community. That thing gets ducked all the time. So
yeah, it kind of looks like the what was it, the SJ?
Seriously, yeah. And people ask, like, why the Corvair? And I said, because it's a big XJ. That's why. Yeah,
they didn't make one. They should have. I mean, I was kind of hoping that they. I think the Commander. I was kind of hoping that would be a big XJ, but that's not the way it worked out.
Yeah.
So when you're doing your YouTube videos, how much do you have a video staff, or do you have people that are just working the camera that do other things for you?
Yeah. So my crew, nobody is really doing anything they ever went to school for. And that's one thing that's kind of unique about our YouTube channel is everybody is a character. So our cameramen are characters, and you'll see the different, you'll even see the kids that clean the shop up and stuff. My wife's on there, and we kind of have, we allow other YouTubers to come on. A lot of YouTubers are really territorial, and it doesn't make any sense to me because, especially in the YouTube universe where people are, if people are watching me and people are watching Bleep and Jeep, why don't we collaborate with Bleep and Jeep? And they've been very open to it and benefit from it. So that's one thing. Like, I think we have a pretty relaxed, like our cast, nobody's professionals at really anything that they're doing. They're just interested in it. We let them come in and do it, including our editors and our cameramen and all that. They're just regular people. And of course they're trying to be better. They're really good employees, and they want to do their job better. And part of their job is capturing what we do. And that's why you've kind of seen an evolution in the channel where we're filming better and people are more comfortable on camera. Every once in a while you'll get somebody that's like, you need to change back to the way you used to be when we first started. That's when I liked you. But it's kind of insane to think of somebody doing something for years and not getting better at it.
Yeah, I agree.
So So we definitely like, we want to keep it real, but YouTube makes some things available that wouldn't be available. Like we went and got Ed's golden nugget out of the Sierra Nevada mountains, and that was a very expensive, time-consuming, laborious thing to go do, and it would have been impossible to just go do. But YouTube makes it possible to go do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of fun, and it's fun to take those opportunities and then show people, and people are enjoying it. So it's a product that they want, and we're able to do it, and it's just a good dynamic.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And it's giving a lot of opportunities. My crew got 13 employees, full-time employees, that are getting an opportunity to do something. They're not only providing for themselves and their families, but they're doing this really fun, and they're having to stretch and grow. And I like the whole thing. I really enjoy it. I like the whole process.
So I'm sure you're busy actually doing actual work, but do you ever get behind the stick for the drone so you can record some of the drone footage yourself?
I own a drone. I do grab the camera from time to time. So the job that there is that I know how to do, I'll jump in and be done. I'll do it, but fly the drone.
I'll take a
we have much more capable pilots,
and probably
and really doing it professionally like this. All our drone pilots have to be licensed and certified. So there's that when you get a little higher profile like this, you've got to make sure that you got the licensing and the certifications that you need to do this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Where you can film and where you can fly a drone.
I thought about that after I asked the question, and I thought, oh, gee, I'm going to get Matt in trouble. He can't say yes to this.
Yeah. Well, if I could fly a drone, I'd have to get certified.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Well, at least for it to be used commercially. Well, that is really cool. I really enjoy the drone footage because it's great B-roll to give people an idea, or at least me an idea, of what the surrounding terrain looks like. I've never been to that part of the country, and it is absolutely gorgeous. And I'm sure that has a lot to do with the interest in the YouTube videos, because you got wonderful background to look at almost all the time.
Yeah, I'm I realize how fortunate I am to be doing this work in this part of the world. We got Zion National Park there. We're in the Grand Canyon country. We've got you've got the Mojave Desert meets the Colorado Plateau meets the Uinta Basin, literally right there in Hurricane. And so the diversity of the terrain and the climate, and then just all the different colors. It's not lost on me for sure.
Oh, you mentioned climate, and that reminded me to ask you a question. Several of the people on our Discord server said, now, when you're talking to Matt, you have to ask him how he keeps his XJ from overheating. My listeners to the show have been hearing me complain about my XJ overheating on the highway. If I drive it like 50 miles at 70 miles an hour, I get this heat creep, and it goes up and up and up and up, and then finally I have to pull over, and it takes a long time for it to cool back down. Doesn't seem like it ever wants to get back to normal. So I know that it's a different type of weather environment, Southeast Texas and there in Utah, but I would imagine you get some hot days, and that's whenever I have problems with mine, as you know, when it's 90 and 100.
I feel like I have tried everything. I've tried everything.
See, they think I'm crazy.
So, I've had several different systems, and the one that worked the best for me, I put the stock mechanical fan. I don't know what I was running, a Mishimoto, or I think it was a Mishimoto radiator, and then I was running the stock mechanical fan with no clutch, and the stock electric fan. And then I ran, there's a circulation that comes straight off the head into the cold side of the pump. It's about a dime-sized hole. I plugged that thing off right behind the water pump. It's super easy to do. And then I ran when the heater's off, it's still circulating through, but it's not rejecting any heat. So then I ran another heater core after the heater and put an electric fan on it, and I had the vents in the hood, and I was pulling fresh air from on top of the hood down through that. And I could, because we get 117 degrees where we're at. And so pulling a trailer through the dunes, I can't keep my air conditioning on without overheating.
Yeah.
So, and that was super frustrating. So in this particular build that I did, and this is it was a huge job. Like, a lot of people want to know, like, what parts do you need to do this? This is not, like, if you're asking what parts you need to do this, you're probably not qualified to do this.
Right. It's the tools you need, not the parts.
Yeah. So I ended up moving the steering box to the outside of the frame. So I'm actually using a trail gear steering box. And then I've got a way bigger radiator in there now. And then I'm running Chevy Silverado fan clutch and fan off the water pump now. So I had to build an adapter for that, so for the thread on. And I haven't had it out very much, but it's running cool as a cucumber. So
we had a listener that swears up and down that he has solved the problem by putting baffles in I think it was a 2-core or maybe a 3-core aluminum radiator, and separating it up so it requires the coolant to run through the radiator, I think, like 3 times. It goes through the top and then back across the middle and then back across the bottom and then out to the engine, or whichever way it goes.
Yeah, and mine does that. Mine's a double pass.
Okay.
So and I'd already ran it. That was what I ended up on the Corvair, that Corvair station wagon. So I'm running the same radiator between the two, the same steering box, the same fan, the same clutch. Everything, and the Corvair will drive in 117 degrees, pulling a trailer through the dunes with the AC cranked. So I have no reason to believe the XJ won't now, but we're going to find out this summer.
Okay, very nice. Well, I hope you got it solved. And see, people, I told you that the XJ had an issue. I have so many people that will say, oh, mine runs 190 max all year long. Well, good for you. It doesn't for me.
And maybe in the northern states or something, but when it gets 100, because that's what I noticed, like somewhere around 104, that's when keeping the XJ cool is just a fight.
So I finally fixed my overheating problem. I bought a Gladiator with the Max Tow package, and now I need to get a trailer so I can tow my XJ to off-road parks.
Nice.
So, and I put an Atlas in it, and I still haven't been able to take it off-road much. And I've got all these fun things to do with it. And so I haven't changed the axles in it or anything like what you have. I mean, you've definitely done a lot more work on your XJ than I'll be doing on mine. But I just want to take it off-road. I'm not going to be towing things.
Yeah. No, they're a great package. I still believe the XJ, I don't think there's anything else like it on the planet. You can go buy a used XJ, disconnect the sway bars, add a couple bucks in lift pucks and lift springs, and you can keep up with almost anybody.
Oh, it's an amazing vehicle. I just got lucky. I was going there to buy a Wrangler, and we had 2 little girls, and I went, look, honey, it's bright red. It's our favorite color. It's a 4-door, so the girls will be able to get in and out just fine. Of course, those back doors are that's about all that's good for us kids, because the way they're on there. And so we went with that, and I've had it, and we just got the Gladiator in May, so it's been my daily driver for 23, 24 years.
Yeah, my wife wants a Gladiator.
It's really nice. It is
Maybe
really
we'll
nice.
have to go shopping.
Well, you need to do more YouTube videos so you can afford it.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding.
All right. So anyway, great conversation. And I think we've kind of already gone over the social media things, but people are used to hearing at the end. So let's go over that again. Where can people find you? I noticed you also have a website, Matt's offroadrecovery.com, and you got merch on there. Oh, I meant to mention this. You got a stinking little like Hot Wheel Mattel something or another yellow banana that you can buy off this site. Autographed banana Jeep.
Yeah. Yeah, we do have those.
Where did you get that? Is that something that you had specially made, or somebody approached you, or
we made a phone call to Johnny Lightning, and they already had a little yellow XJ, so I just needed to change the artwork on it. So, but there, some people are a little bit shocked at the price, but you got to realize I'm not Walmart. I'm not buying a million of these. I'm buying a couple thousand at a time.
Oh, this is one of those things where you're not buying a bunch of them. You're getting one because you're a fan of the channel, you're a fan of Matt's, then everybody else that's involved with it, and you're getting this to have something on your wall. And if somebody walks in, especially your buddies, and admit it, the majority of the modifications we put on our Jeeps is to impress the buddies. So you can buy this autographed banana Jeep, and from Matt's Towing, it's got Matt's autograph on it.
Yep, that really is my autograph. I sat down and signed every single one of those.
And they say, "Is that from that YouTube channel? That's so cool!" And it's worth the $50.
Yeah.
But you guys got stickers, you've got logos, you got all the good stuff. Hey, you even got recovery gear on there, which is a great idea. So check out Matt's Off-Road Recovery, mattsoffroadrecovery.com. If you add 2 or 3 more words in there, it would be, make it even better. Just for the length. And and you're on the YouTube. Where else can they find
Matt's
you?
Off-Road Recovery on YouTube and Matt's Off-Road Recovery on Facebook and Instagram. So it's pretty easy across the board there.
And don't forget, you're going to be on the TikTok pretty soon.
I think we are. But Lizzie's been trying to teach me TikTok dances, so.
Oh, no. Think of the viewers.
Hide your wives, hide your children.
Well, Matt, thank you very much. I'm glad we finally got you on here. We've been trying for a while, and Chris over at 7slats.com was able to make it happen between him and Jeff, and we certainly appreciate it, and would love to get you back on in the future.
Well, I sure have enjoyed it. It's been a good time, so.
Hey, thanks again to Matt for taking the time to talk about Matt's Off-Road Recovery. Matt and his team is a model of success in our social media world. Chris, is just amazing to me how well they're doing. And of course, the XJ fan in me is just, a giddy little squirrel girl because Matt was doing so much of this. And I think so much of his success was the yellow banana, the Jeep Cherokee that he was doing all those modifications to and pulling so many people out of trouble.
Absolutely. That's a neat vehicle, neat to watch.
Yeah, and now he's got a new banana. So it'll be interesting to see him using that larger, heavier vehicle to do some of the other towing stuff. I don't think that the XJ is going to go away. I think it's still going to be used. It just will be used in conjunction with this other vehicle. But we'll have to keep an eye on Matt's YouTube channel and see what happens.
Do you have an idea for a guest? Do you work in the off-road industry or know someone who does? Or maybe you would like to be a guest in the Jeep Talk Show. Go to xjtalk.com/contact now and share your idea for our next great guest. With Father's Day coming up this weekend, Tony, I wanted to wish you a happy Father's Day and a happy Father's Day to all the Jeep dads out there. And to those Jeep dads that cannot drive a manual transmission, happy Mother's Day, fellas.
I'm reading ahead. My daughter is supposed to be teaching some guy at the Mercedes dealership how to drive a standard transmission. I think I talked about this out at the Jeep Talk Show off-road event. And I was like, the guy already bought the vehicle that he wanted to learn how to drive standard on, and he drove it home, and he may not have much clutch left, but he's already gone through the first stages of learning how to drive a manual transmission. I mean, he's gone from point A to point B. So now it's just practice. So anyway, I told her, I said, I think he just probably likes you. That's the reason why he wants you to teach him how to drive a standard. No, it's not that, Dad. Hey, coming up next week, Cody Cameron from BridgeComSystems.com, GMRS, FRS, ham radio, they have it all. And Chris, keep getting these guests of last names I can pronounce. I like that. And in 2 weeks, speaking of pronouncing names, so for some strange reason, I can pronounce this name. And watch, I probably won't do it right. And in 2 weeks, Tony Pellegrino of GenRight.com. And, GenRight has a lot of interesting and great products for the Jeep. But the thing that I talked to Tony most about was King of the Hammers. And I think you guys know, I mean, I think King of Hammers is just fine, but I don't really get into the off-road vehicle racing. But Tony and I got into a conversation about all of the redundant systems and things that he has to have on his King of the Hammers vehicles. And I actually talked to Tony. I think it's in the interview. I actually asked him about what's the odds that we could get maybe I could drive your King of the Hammers rig, and we could get another King of the Hammers rig for Josh to drive, and we could have like a mini race, and we could call it like the red against black race. So he just laughed. So I don't know, something about it being $500,000 vehicle or something, and not having the proper insurance for me to drive it. But I could drive the hell of it, I'm sure.
It's very easy to sign up for our newsletter. Just go to xjtalk.com/contact, and you'll find a link to click and sign up. And don't worry, it's as easy to unsubscribe as it is to subscribe.
Well, that's all the Jeep Talk Show we have for now, Jeeper. But until our next show, be sure and check out our Tic Tac. Well, it's supposed to be called TikTok, but I call it Tic Tac. And as always, thank you for listening to the world's most downloaded Jeep podcast. So, Chris, I was telling my daughter the other day something about that hurts when I pee Jeep thing, and I couldn't remember exactly how it goes. Let's see if I can remember it now. So I think I got that Jeep thing because it burns when I pee.
Sounds right. Absolutely.
It's close enough.